YouTube, what up? Welcome back to channel Adrian TV, and y'all know me as Adrian. But before we get into today's video, y'all know what y'all need to do. Subscribe to this channel, like and comment on the videos. Also follow me on Rumble where I post. And if you have a video or anything you want me to talk about or react to, please do not hesitate to reach out. You can hit me up on one of my social media platforms. It'll be pinned in the description. Now, y'all seen the title, Men and Women. This is an episode of Read Between the Lines. And the reason I pick videos like this is because people say one thing but mean another thing. And this is going to be important for your development in any type of social setting, in social circles, and especially with your friends. So this will benefit men and women. So I'm going to play the video and tell you what is he really saying and what men and women can both learn from this.
When do you want your woman to dress provocatively as opposed to modestly?
If she's with me, I don't give a shit how she dresses, to be honest with you. I mean, as long as I'm with her. Now, if she by herself or the homegirls, I'm gonna be like, that shit ain't gonna work for me.
You don't think that she should just reserve that for yourself?
It kind of gives it that spice when I see her wearing something provocatively around me, you know, and I see other dudes looking at her kind of deal. I'm like, oh yeah, but you mine really at the end of the day. So that's my mentality. I'm aggressive. I'm a hunter. Like I don't mind all these other dudes, but it still gets me amped up to where it's like, yeah, baby, but you mine at the end of the night.
So if she was all with you, and I could see that her nipples were pierced, that wouldn't bother you?
It is really tough to tell a woman, hey, I don't like this shit. If you do this shit, you know, I'm gonna kick you to the curb. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, a woman will be like, oh, you're controlling. She'll go tell her homegirls, and her homegirls will come back and be like, oh, he's abusive mentally, blah blah blah. And then
Y'all, you can't make this stuff up. Y'all, let's start with the beginning. Number one, you first notice how he said he was fine with his girlfriend dressing provocative because he used this example. He said, as long as she's with me and people seeing her. In other words, he's getting a endorphin high off other people seeing his woman. And since she's fine, he's getting a high off that, like, yeah, that's mine, that's my girl. That's weird because normally women do that towards their men, not men doing that towards their woman. That would be the first thing. So that kind of lets me know he's more in a submissive state of that relationship. And then number two, when he went on to talk about it, you actually find out how he really feels. He said it's really hard to express how you feel because she will run back to her homegirls and they will claim you're abusive. So that's showing me, that second part, that's showing me that he doesn't have enough self-respect to tell her honestly, because he could potentially lose her or her friends would label him as abusive. Now, if y'all think I'm reaching, let's read a few commenters' comments. One commenter said, he's not aggressive. He lets her dress as she wants because he's afraid of her and her friends. Like I said, he's shown he's more submissive in a relationship. And this is why I said men and women could both learn from this, because men that are more masculine and understand the dynamics between men and women, like I can easily point that out just like this commenter can too. I'm like, okay, he's more submissive in that relationship. And then number two, for women, you need to understand this, because if you want a man to be able to lead you and to be able to lead your son and daughter, especially if you have a son, if you want your son to be a masculine man, he needs to understand these things so he could be a leader. I do not think a man could be a leader in a relationship if he's submissive. Because if he's submissive, that lets me know a few things. That lets me know that he knows he's not good enough to keep her unless he follows what she says, even though he disagree. And then that also lets me know that she knows she's above him as well. Other commenter said, damn, homeboy scared he's going to lose the box. That's what I said. This is why men lie to women. Men only lie to women when they're not good enough to keep them. Because like myself, I am very honest. I don't need to lie. If me being honest with you and whatever I feel about certain topics or situations, if my honesty is not good enough to keep you, you could go, because I don't even want you here. But the fact that he knows he has to lie or suppress how he feels because she will run to her homegirls and they will label him abusive, lets me know he already put the pieces in his head like, okay, I can't be honest because she could potentially leave me. Or I could be labeled abusive, which could lead to turbulence in our relationship, then she would leave me. And another commenter said he told on himself when he explained the consequences of a man trying to communicate and establish a boundary. So now he paints his nails and submits to his woman every decision. The internet be wilding, but I didn't see his nails painted. But I get what they're trying to say. They're trying to say he might as well be the woman of the relationship since he's more submissive. Now, let me say this. I'm not saying just because he's a man, he is right. Because when we start talking about being submissive and stuff like that, I think that's what mainly women think. And that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is women would submit naturally to a leader. But when a man has to submit to a woman, there's something off. There's an imbalance in that relationship. And most men, like myself and men that are commenting, are seeing, okay, that lets me know he's either dating way out of his league or she just doesn't respect him. It's one of the two. But in my personal opinion and in my experiences in life, that lets me know that it's both of them. She knows he's out of his league, so she could kind of do whatever she wants. And then number two, he knows that she's out of his league, so he has to comply. So men and women, when it comes to these things, you need to learn how to read between the lines and understand them. And the reason I think this benefits men, because like, I do not know that man. He seems like a nice person from what I can see, well put together. But would I want to hang out with him? No. Because I don't hang around soft or submissive men in their relationships. Now, I'll be honest with you. I would say a majority of men are submissive in their relationships because since they're so low value compared to their woman, regardless if it's true or not, they can't lead their relationship. For example, like he said, he can't be honest, and he knows that. Now, there's nothing wrong with if you have to be a pushover or a simp in a relationship. You know what? I have no problem with it. And then if you own it, by all means, I'm happy for you. Do I want to hang with you? No. So that's why I think that's important on the man side, so you can understand the different type of men. Because in the workforce and when you get older, especially in college, you're going to run across a majority of men like this man in this video. And then for women, if you want a strong, dominant, masculine man to lead your family, and especially to pass on those type of traits to your son, you need to understand these things. Because if that's the case, it can't be this man, because he's already submitting to his woman because he can't express his boundary he wants. Now, the woman doesn't have to comply to his boundary, but like I said earlier, if I express a boundary and you're not willing to comply to it, I'll just leave. I don't have to worry about what your friends say about me. I would just leave. But since he can't do that, that should let you know everything you need to know. But y'all, tell me what you think about this situation. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Men and women, always read between the lines.